hello. Um, I decided I'm gonna stream today, even though I wasn't originally planning to. Um, we're gonna do What Remains of Edith Finch, because I just got that. I've played it on Game Pass before, but they took it off Game Pass, and I recently bought it again on Steam. So, yeah, we're gonna play What Remains of Edith Finch, mainly because I've seen a bunch of new theories and stuff. Well, not really new theories, but like I hadn't seen them before, and I wanted to take a closer look at the game and give my own thoughts and stuff. So, we're gonna open this because I haven't opened the game yet since it goes right into the game. So, we're gonna go to the live scene and open the game. I really hope this little notification thing at the bottom goes away. Like, yes, computer, I know that my camera is on. You don't have to keep popping up every 2 seconds to say it. Hang on. Is there a way I can fix that? Because it's gonna drive me crazy. While the game is booting up. Let's see if I can fix this. Why isn't anything fucking responding? Whatever. Nothing's fucking responding, so let's just go into the room.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Okay. Give me a sec. I'm just texting my tech support person.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Oh, I don't like how slow it is.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Oh, you could see. I know that she's pregnant, and you can actually see that when you look down.
In her will, my mother left me a
the first
key,
time I
but
played.
didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Okay, so you can go both ways, and if you go both ways, you get an achievement. So I'm going to go one way, and then I'm going to come back and go the other way. Hang on, this is bothering the shit out of me. So, what I'm going to do is... at least try to cover this up. Sorry, give me just a moment. Because, again, this is bugging the absolute shit out of me. At least that's a temporary fix.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
If I remember correctly, something is in here that's related to one of the deaths in the family.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent, as if they're about to say something but never do.
Oh, there it is, the dragon.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Okay, so I think I have to go up to the front door, maybe?
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were.
Ma'am, you
I
were
was afraid of
17
the
and
house.
pregnant? Okay, so now that I've come up this way, I'm gonna go back and go the other way. Itchy.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof
There's
prints.
the achievement. There's a deer. It really is a weird house. But it's really cool. I would love to live in a house like this.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me. The house felt like it had always been here. Even the swing set was older than my mother.
You are pregnant. Why are you going through the dog door?
Prowling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Yeah, not only are you older, you're fucking pregnant. You shouldn't be doing that. Not to mention all the other shit you get up to in this game.
The power had been turned off the night we left. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly. Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
This game has a lot of just like exploration and tiny details that I really love.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
I am determined to find all the little secrets this time around.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it. like a smile with too many teeth. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit. Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
It's a really pretty song.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night. Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library. After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it. Mom must have locked the third-floor stairs on the night we left. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Let's look through all the peoples, because that's another achievement.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Itchy.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Why is Gregory's room a bathroom? I mean, I have an idea why it might be, but...
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin. Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Is that everything to explore before I go in? I think so.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan, but I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Is that a whistle? Maybe. Let's explore around.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Sorry about this. My eyes are feeling very dry, so... There we go. There we go. Much better. And Molly.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. My Halloween candy was all gone. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
He's so fishy.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. I ate a lot of things that night. I kept eating and eating. Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest.
That's a pretty bird.
I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. up and seen mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating.
Uh-oh.
Suddenly, I was a shark.
What? Are you good?
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good. Grabbed on tight, but I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
He's gonna fall down in that stuff. How long is this fucking song? Waiting for him to finish is an achievement. There we go.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
That's her own bathroom.
I got closer and closer. All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
I hear a cat. Kitty!
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
He took the house.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
So, someone... Arthur, Sam, Barbara, Calvin, Sven, Sanjay, Kay, Gus, Gregor, Don, Edith. So, one of the things that I found about this is the theory that at least once they got to America, or wherever this is, yeah, America, I think it is, none of these deaths were accidents. The theory is that they're all orchestrated by Grandma Edie because she loved
Edie gave
the
a big
fame
interview
and
about
shit.
a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was
Because
furious.
lots of times she literally sold these stories to the press. She
One summer,
enjoyed
they evacuated
the
the
attention.
island, but Edie refused to go.
If you want to
For a few
hear more
weeks,
about it,
she
you
was a
could look at
celebrity.
Matt Pat's video on YouTube. That's where I found the theory, is that Edie,
I hadn't thought of
literally-
myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
Literally, you could see concepts for their stories here. Molly concepts, Barbara concepts. Where's more? Like, there's some scattered all over, and there's
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She
and
could have, but she didn't.
she has a very morbid, thing. That is a picture of her husband actively dying. And it's not like that's the only picture she had. She just purposely chose to display this one. But, there's lots of hints around the game that Edie is the one that's behind all the deaths in one way or another. Shrine sketches, mural sketches. Wait, she has 2 copies of this book. At least. Mysteries of Death and... She has a lot of copies of this book. Mummification. There's a lot of duplicates of all these books. She has a lot of stuff surrounding death. And her dad literally wrote the books on death.
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Yeah, there's a lot to suggest that Edie was behind all this shit.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
This is where this is where Gregory died.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
There's a Secret in This Bathroom by Sven and Edith Finch.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
What the fuck? Literally pictures of, if I remember correctly, Calvin. Yeah, pictures of where one of her sons died. And all this shit. Who the fuck?
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished.
Oh.
He never put it down.
Oh, if this is where Sam... if these are Sam's pictures, then that's him taking a picture of where his twin brother died. Milton again. That's a lot of whiskey. Whee! There's a lot of secret passages in this house. Fort Calvin. Fort Sam.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
I want to see what's in here. Nope, that's the area to the next place. That's a cool thing, though. Imagine having rooms like this as a kid.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
This is the scene that originally got me to look into the game, because I saw it on
My brother said
TikTok.
he'd die before he ate another mushroom.
And it looked
And he
really
did.
cool.
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Whee!
Coming!
But that day,
It
he
feels
finally
weird thinking
made
of
up his
Edie
mind
with
to
that
do it.
accent.
I told him going around was impossible.
It's not impossible, it's just very, very
Maybe if
dangerous,
I
as
hadn't
we
said
will
that.
soon find out.
Alvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Hold on. One plus side to having a brother who went to
Mom
college
said
for
Grandpa
IT.
Sam
You got
enlisted
your
at
own
18
personal
and
IT
never
guy.
set foot in the room again.
This is such a cool house, though. I would love to have a place like this. Like, if I ever get to design a fresh build, I'm going to intentionally design it with a bunch of secret passages and shit.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
I've already checked the thing. Milton really do be climbing all over
Growing
this
up,
house.
I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
This is a cool room, though. She got fucking Oscars? What?
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
That cake has been sitting there since... Okay, this game is supposed to take place in 2016. That cake has been sitting there since 1960. How is it not dust by now? She's got quite a few uniforms for Penelope's. This was one of my favorite sections. But, hang on. How long have I been going? Almost an hour. Let's take a break before I get started on Barbara's chapter. Or Barbara's section. We will take our 10-minute break and then be right back. And welcome back. Got a nice cold drink. Let's get into Barbara's story.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed.
There we go.
Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven.
Uh-oh.
He slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
Uh-oh.
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Oh my gosh. The fucking Halloween music.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
I know this is an achievement. There we go. I should not be given this.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Interesting.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
I can't look down at myself. look here!
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah!
Uh-oh.
Hey, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Oh, I love that I can do that. Oh my god. I got the chair stuck! That's a cool ass chair though. Now, that was another thing about, in the theory that Edie orchestrated everything, that was like foreshadowing. And suggesting that maybe Barbara fell after her struggle with Edie, rather than, the mass killer or whatever the fuck.
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Uh-oh.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges grow. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
That is a very unnatural way for his arm to bend.
Vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. Was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending. I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
One of the achievements was to look through all the peepholes and telescopes. So, Calvin had a thing about the
Funny.
stars.
All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
No. There's no telescope in here? Thought there would be. Maybe check in here. Oh, that's not a light, that's just a reflection.
I wonder if that comic was right about there being a key inside the music box near the basement.
Itchy. First, let me look over here. There we go.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember
Why do I
asking
want to
Mom
live in
once
this
about
house
where
so
Walter
bad?
had gone.
I just want to live in this house and explore it. It looks so cool.
She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Pea soup, Alvin O's, beans. More pea soup. More pea soup.
If there's a pattern in all these stories,
Jelly, peanut butter, ketchup. Sweetie crisps, beans, jelly, soup, pork chunkies. That does not sound appetizing.
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Shaving cream. Fake window. The crutch his sister used. Peaches.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Yeah, first let me look over here. I cannot look over there. Okay. Got a lot of books. Some tomato ketchup. Jelly.
I know it's out there somewhere.
Pork chunkies. Brown rice. What is that? Can't tell what it is.
Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin.
I mean, I think Calvin's was just pure accident. Ah, yes, the trash pit. Okay, so... Okay, it's peanut butter.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one more day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
So he's got a decent amount of spices. Not a lot, but like not just salt, pepper, and garlic. I wonder if I can get through all this in one shot. I'm not sure.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house...
Oh, there was also vitamins.
I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
He's got a lot of stored food.
Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real. I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Derpy Jr. Are the small ones? No. Which ones are the gerbils? Schwartzy's a dog. I don't see the gerbils. Because she just said that 3 of them had been her fault, but she wasn't born before 1999. And the only one I see, the only ones I see that died after that, oh, there's Derpy Jr., but I think Derpy Jr. was a bird. Charlie, which is a cat, according to that. Shotzi, which looks like it might be a dog based on the grave thing. Did Walter... That's fucking awful! Oh my god! Bro! I just read that! That's awful! Oh my gosh!
Sven built the house.
Oh my god!
He designed the cemetery.
Molly, little kitty cat. Calvin with his rocket ship. Sven with the saw. Edie with the book for stories. Walter What is Walter's supposed to be? You're awful. Did Walter catch his train or did the train catch him? I can't. Oh my god. Barbara.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
He's standing on
She
the
could
old
see
house.
it poking out of the water at low tide.
Aha! Telescope.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Oh.
Edie's side
This
was
way.
always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
Sam,
Her dad had
Gus,
been pretty
and
strict, but
Berkeley.
it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
So... Sam was one of her great Edith. Sam is one of Edith's great uncles. Gus and Gregory are her uncles.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Milton.
We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
Lewis with the crown, which we'll understand later. Sanjay, I'm assuming, is Edith's dad, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Yeah, Sanjay goes with Dawn. Gregory, Sam, and Gus don't have anything really particularly special. Gregory, understandable because he was a baby. Greg. I don't remember anything about Gus. I don't remember anything about Sam. Oh no, Sam died hunting, I think. I don't remember exactly.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
22 weeks. That is 5.5 months. So she's almost in her 3rd trimester. Can I not go up there?
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Grandpa Sam. Oh, no. Uncle Walter. Walter's her great uncle. Sam was her grandpa.
They were both pretty intense. Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Kay was his wife. Yeah, Kay was Sam's wife. I think. Sam was a Marine. Quite the decorated veteran.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm?
Perfect.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything? It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Aw. You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
There's something in particular I'm supposed to photograph to progress, and I don't remember what it is.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Aha!
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
I definitely... Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Hang on. There we go.
Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Now keep yourself squared up, elbows down. like we practiced. Whenever you're ready. Great shot, Dawn! I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about—
Dad!
Oh no.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Yes, the deer was like, fuck you. Oh my gosh.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera.
Oh my god.
I guess we're all afraid of something.
The deer was like, if I'm going out, you're going out with me.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Oh. This is where we get to see a sad one. Like a really sad one. Dawn. Gus.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
Gregory. Gregory's first. Oh my god, did Edie really put their divorce papers on Gregory's thing? Edie, that's fucked up.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
It's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Well, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish you could have told us. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
That's fucking horrible. That's fucking awful. Bro. Okay. Gus. Oh, Gus is the one with the fucking...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that I
now
remember.
pronounce you husband and wife. Make him cry.
Okay, what am I supposed to do now? Aha!
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Oh no.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
So Dawn is the only one of her siblings that made it to adulthood. Or even teenage years. Well, how old was Gus? 69. He had just turned 13. Raise flag, breakfast, quiet time. Dawn, sweet. Gus was killed by a gust of wind. I like these. Some of them are fucked up, but I like them. Duties, Dawn, sweet trash, Gus, mop, mow yard, Greg, be a baby. And up here is Dawn's room.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Fly to India. 10 ways to teach critical thinking. College application. Republic of India.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Oh, sweet. Okay, how am I supposed to see how Dawn passed away? Come on, Edith.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again.
How do I view Dawn's story? Like, before I continue, how do I view her story? Because I think I missed it last time I played this. There's nothing in Dawn's room. Edith, Milton, Lewis. Milton didn't plant much. Lewis had a few little things. Edith had some stuff. Huh.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Multiplication tables. Our family history, fact or fiction. Edith Lewis Milton. Mrs. Finch.
But it didn't last.
Observation, question, research, hypothesis, experiment, data, conclusion. Relief in disaster. There's their dad. I find it funny how, like, they're all about family, and the one thing missing in this is family. Between order and genus is supposed to be family. That's one of the things I do remember from school.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
I'm gonna see what's around here. It's past the 2-hour mark, but I don't care. We're relatively close to the end. Might have another hour, I have no idea, but this is a fun game and I don't want to stop. This kid was how old? 11. Damn, that's a good artist for an 11-year-old.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family. Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
That's it? That's how he disappeared?
Milton disappeared.
Oh, so Milton was older than her. Oh, I didn't realize Edith was the baby of the family.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Any ideas about what happened to Milton? You've had a comment about everyone else.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room, until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room, except Lewis.
This looks like my kind of guy. Oh, I can't go up that way. I just remember what this one is.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Oh shit, he didn't smoke all his stuff before he died? Damn, that's a waste.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats and toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then.
His things get more intense in the therapy.
Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss.
Or whatever.
But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on.
It gets more and more... I don't even know the word.
I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. he held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a...
I'm gonna make him gay!
Beautiful prince. The prince was on his own quest for...
Let's just make this as gay as possible.
Radiant rainbows. He followed the sound of his... silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it.
Oh my gosh, I can't get caught up.
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. Began to forget the world we know.
That's his locker. He's got a bowl in there. You smoking on the job, Louis? Makes sense why you got such an active imagination.
I think it pained him to remember Louis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
And there he is.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who insisted on inviting him. Waiting, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
It's literally a guillotine right here.
I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
How many bowls does this guy have? You dropped all your weed, bro.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
It's a nice-ass TV. Got a little mini fridge, too.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
It's a beautiful view up here. Is this...
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Is this Dawn's room? Probably Dawn and Edith.
But I understand why we left.
Edith. Mom. Imagine the amount of work it took to get plumbing all the way up here.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Teach and to Learn 7 Ways to Create a Fulfilling Classroom by Dawn Finch. Disaster Relief, Sanjay Kumar. Lewis Finch. It's a lot of missing posters that they never put up.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time.
Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another.
All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
I still haven't gotten a thing about Dawn. Or Edith. Or Edie.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Give me just a second.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years.
So
God,
I don't
it
think I
smelled
can
awful.
get Dawn's
No, I've seen that house every
story
day
on the
of my
first
life.
playthrough, from what I'm looking at.
But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
Oh. Dawn.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Did they add another area to the very top of the house? Let's take a look through all this. These pictures are really cool though. Achievement get. This is a really good game. Like, I really love this game. It doesn't have a whole ton of replayability unless you like go back and look for little things you didn't notice before, but it's a really cool, really well thought out, really detailed game with a lot of different art styles and everything, and I really like it. I'm really glad this was on sale, so I was able to get it. Anyways, who am I waiting to see in the end credits for this achievement? It's probably the very last person. Johans. I just saw it. Okay, so the only achievement I haven't gotten in this game is one that I would have to get by playing Calvin's story again, which I wonder. Replay a story. Calvin. I wonder why it's specific to Calvin.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
Why specifically
and that he never
Calvin?
talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch.
I mean, it is
the thing
an
I
interesting
remember is that when he made up his mind,
scene.
That was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly. But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Alvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
And there's the last achievement.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Okay. So, we got everyone there. Thank you for joining me tonight. I had a lot of fun with this game. Had a lot of fun reading the stuff you said. And I haven't decided what I'm gonna play tomorrow. If I am gonna play anything tomorrow, I probably am. I tend to think I'm not going to in the middle of the day, like when I first wake up, but then towards the end of the day, I'm like, you know what, I want to stream. So I guess it'll really all depend on if I have a headache by the end of the day, and how much sleep I get tonight, and then we'll take it from there and see. Thank you once again. This stream will be going up on my YouTube right after we finish up here, and you can check out my socials. My link tree is in my about section on here, and I believe I linked it on my YouTube as well. Hope to see you guys next time, and have a great night. Bye.